Is starting an Amazon store in 2025 still worth it? With rising tariff costs, drop shipping bans, and an ongoing trade war, is it even worth it to open a store? Today I'm going to cover all the reasons why you should or why you shouldn't open an Amazon store and what it really takes to get it running. And I'm also going to be sharing with you a step-by-step guide to launching your own private label brand. Now, I've launched 2 products under 2 different brands. Both of my brands are private label brands. A lot of people out there do retail arbitrage or even drop shipping, which are all fine. I do the FBA, private label brands. I made my very own card game, Say the Same Word. You might recognize this from TikTok or from the Good Morning Show where they count down 3, 2, 1 and try to say the same word. That's exactly what my card game is. This card game is on Amazon, fully created by myself. I also have a dog leash, in which we are still in the process of launching. However, I do have a patent for it. We sold out of our round once. Now I'm telling you all the successes of my products, but let me get into the reasons why they have been hard to keep up with and hard to launch. Whether this Amazon FBA is a gold mine or a sinking ship altogether, I've been in the chaos. I started my Amazon store about 2 years ago. First, I started with my flagship card game, in which we are still working on producing more of. However, this is not as big of a success as I would have anticipated. I was anticipating numbers similar to Cards Against Humanity, Apples to Apples, and other large card games. My card game probably makes about $100 in profit per month at the current rate, and we're not doing that much advertising. Of course, we could advertise more. That would just cost us more money with no guarantee on a return. So that being said, starting the brand was very difficult. However, it cost me about $3,000 to $4,000 in total to start the brand, from the product development, and design process of everything. About $3 to $4 grand. There's some other things as a private label owner that you need to understand. You need to have a trademark, which on average costs around $400 if you go through a service. And you have to make sure your trademark is eligible to be on the Amazon brand registry, which you'll also have to apply for and pay for. Another thing that you are not even accounting for are the big fees that Amazon takes out. Amazon takes about $3 to $5 from each card game sale that we sell for our product. That being said, our card games cost about $3.50 to produce. We sell them for $18. Our margins aren't that high. After Amazon takes their fee, we have our shipping fee, our trademark fee, and everything else in between. We only make about $4 to $5 per card game. At the end of the day, it's still profit, but we need to sell a lot of card games to make a lot of money. Starting on Amazon sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's far from that. Here are some of the things that I personally use to make my store be a success. My Amazon seller account, which is $40 per month. You have to have this as an Amazon seller, whether you're doing retail arbitrage, private label, or just reselling. You have to have an Amazon seller account that also must be in healthy, good standing. If it's not, you'll get hit with fees, penalties, and even a risk of closing your account. Seller Board, that is one of my favorite programs to use. Now, it is external to Amazon. However, it does sync all of your Amazon data from all of the stores that you have under your account. This is good to show your profit, loss, keep track of all your advertising costs, and even figure out how much inventory you have on hand and when you'll need to reorder it. Seller Board, I can't recommend enough. I'm not sponsored, but I'll include my affiliate link below in case one of you guys want to sign up. Product research tools, such as Jungle Scout or Helium 10. Now, each has their own benefits and drawbacks, some being price, some being availability and what you're able to do on each. But if you're looking specifically to open your own private label brand, it's important to know what is out there on the market and who your competitors are, and what exactly they're doing for their advertising and which keywords they're pinpointing, which is something that you'll need to think about when you're opening your brand. Brand registry. Now, I did mention this early on, but this is something that you'll have to do as a private label. Not so much as a retail arbitrage seller, but private label, you have to have your own brand. And with that, you need a trademark. There's no workaround for this. And one of the biggest things that you need to have is a shipping and logistics plan. Now, this might be the last thing on your mind when you're thinking of Amazon, because they handle all the shipping. But that doesn't account for them getting the product. That doesn't account if you're going to use FBA, if you're going to import your product from another country. As of right now, May of 2025, there's 30% tariffs on China and other tariffs on other countries. You never know what that's going to cost. So these are things you need to anticipate prior buying your goods and prior to importing them into the US or whichever country that you're looking to. Step 1, you need to research your product or niche. Now, this is the easiest part, right? You kind of have an idea if you're on here of what you want to sell. Something that's different, that might solve a problem, that might change something or innovate. Or maybe you're just branding something completely different. Whichever of the options, you still need to figure out the market for that product. If you're selling dog leashes or games, such as I am, you need to figure out how many people are in that market, who's selling them, and what your competition is. Some markets have low competition, meaning you could take advantage of that area. Others have really high competition, meaning you're probably not gonna make a lot of money on that. A good example would be the game industry. There's a lot of competition, sure, but people are always trying to find new games. Another example could be the sneaker industry. Now, if you want to start a sneaker brand, the overheads are really, really high, and to compete with a big brand such as Nike, Adidas, or Reebok, it's going to be really tough and really expensive. Step 2 is find a reputable supplier. Now, you can use sites such as Alibaba, you can find US-based suppliers, you can find other country-based suppliers. You just have to do some research into figuring out what a reputable supplier looks like for your industry. You might need plastic injection, you might need metal molding, you might need card products, you might need beauty products, whatever it may be. You'll have to find a specific reputable supplier that's willing to work with you and negotiate with you on specific payment terms, shipping terms, and everything else that comes to your product. A benefit to utilizing a good supplier is finding one that has good relationships with shipping companies and logistics companies, as this will help you save on shipping costs and tariff costs in the future. Step 3, branding and samples. Now this is one of the fun parts, at least for me. Branding is when you get to actually create the brand and the image behind the product. Now, this could be any game, but we wanted it to stand out on the shelves. Same with our dog leash. We wanted these things to stand out amongst competitors. What makes our game or what makes our product different? That's why we really needed to choose specific color patterns, specific images, and slogans to allow people to remember the name of your product. And of course, it's always great to test different brand themes and run it past people in your close circle before making a finalized decision, as people in your close circle will give you good feedback into why they would or would not buy that product, and if your branding is on par with what they think it should be. This also goes back to your supplier. They might be able to help you brand your product. They might have in-house designers that are able to take your idea and bring it to life. And these are all things that are great to know before you sign with the supplier. Step 4 is your Amazon FBA setup. Now there's 2 ways to go about this. You can go FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant, which means you ship everything, or FBA, which is a little bit more hands-off. You ship everything to Amazon and they do all the distribution. I prefer FBA as it's quicker, easier to use, and less hassle for me. However, it is more expensive and they do take a cut of every single product that you sell. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it depends on the model that you want to go for. You're also eligible for Amazon Prime shipping if you're an FBA seller, which is really, really important for consumers. Consumers love getting their product in 2 days. I know I do when I order off Amazon. So I always am looking for specific Prime members. So if you're a Prime member, you're probably going to get more sales and you'll have to spend less overall on advertising. And that comes into my next topic, advertising and reviews. Your first 10 reviews are everything, which is why you should utilize the Amazon Vine program, which is a program where you can send free products to individuals that claim them in return for a review. These reviews are public and authorized through Amazon. However, people can also leave negative reviews. I know I've gotten a few negative reviews. These are also good to understand what changes you can make to your product in the future, if that's the route you're trying to go on. But I will warn you, you have no say over what people can do and give you as a review. You can get all 10 one-star reviews if your product is really bad. So you want to make sure you're sending out a quality, good product to your customers, and specifically for your Vine reviewers, or else you'll have a lot of returns and a lot of bad reviews. And these are things Amazon does not like and can even get your account shut down. You want to win in 2025 and get rich just like every other Amazon seller you might see? Well, use proper pictures. Advertising, product listings, videos, and specific commercials that you can shoot are perfect for listings. People love watching videos in clean, classy pictures for whatever product they're trying to sell. You need to have these on your listing in order to have a good product. Use a freelance service such as Upwork or Fiverr to find someone that can make your pictures better. Send them a sample and they can take photos and make those pictures crystal clean. I know I've found a lot of freelancers on Fiverr and Upwork in the past. Make sure you find one that's really good. Focus on a low competition, high demand product. This is where Helium 10 or Jungle Scout comes in. Find keywords that people are searching for that there's not a lot of products on the market for. These are the areas that you want to pinpoint as a seller. Find what people need and what you can do to provide it. Invest in custom packaging. This is a big one. Personally, I love to get a box that is nice, sleek, and matches the product, which is why you should consider custom packaging. Of course, Amazon's going to ship it in its cardboard box, but if you have a box and custom package design that aligns with your brand, your subject, and what you're selling, it will set you apart and even further ahead than your competition. And this is exactly what you want to do on Amazon, because the best looking products and the best reviewed products are the ones that people buy. And know your numbers. Seller Board is perfect for this, as I am able to look on my seller board and figure out exactly when I need stock, how much I'm making, if I'm making money, losing money, track all my expenses, and everything in between. And the big challenges, of course. You might not make money for your first year. I know I didn't. I was actually negative for my first year until we got everything rolling, because I didn't account for all of the things that I have to pay for. Of course, I was just like you and thought, I'm just gonna go buy a product and sell it on Amazon. Well, it's a lot more complicated than that, as you've heard. You have to consider all of these factors when you're going to make your product. Your cost, how much it's going to cost to produce, ship, Amazon fees, FBA, and everything in between. By the end of it, you might be making little to no to even negative margin. So make sure that you account for these before you buy your product. I've dealt with account suspensions, UPC errors, certification requirements missing, and everything else in between. Being a private label brand isn't easy, but it is where the big money is made, if you can do it right. So yes, it's a large risk, but there is a potential for a large reward. The real question is, are you able to do it? So is starting an Amazon store in 2025 still worth it? The answer is yes, if you do it right. Make sure that you have a good team surrounding you, people that are able to edit your pictures, help you with listings, or even help you with your PPC campaigns. Once you set up a good team and have enough capital to do so, you'll be set up for success. So go out there and start that Amazon store, but do it with a managed risk and a cautionary mind. You can do it. I know you can. I'm here to help all of you on your money journeys, in your life, and just general advice that I've learned. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. Can't wait to see you on the next one.